Titanic, the late. Her beautiful, tragic and disappointing memories might never be forgotten. She might have shocked the whole world, on the 14th of April, 1912, when she might have sunk. She might have been initially designed to epitomize elegancy, affluence and safety, above most of her competitors then. It might have been very unfortunate and disappointing that our then darling might have sunk mid on her opening trip. The perceived unsinkable might have killed more than 1,500 passengers, crew and pets. This global tragedy might have also dreaded most sea passengers, the public and the rescued, arousing the critical questions on sea safety. This termed accident and untimely carnage might have been preventable to a high degree. Her construction might have been inspired to fill the then market gap, transporting passengers, on Europe to America route. The White Star liners might have faced being out-championed by the Cunard liners then. In 1907 their rival, the Cunard liners, might have been in a process of introducing Lusitania and Mauretania into their fleet. The two might have been expected to revolution the then voyage speed. To counter this, the White Star through the late Ismay J. Bruce might have tendered the Harland and Wolff firm, through the late Purry William, may their soul rest in peace, to deliver Titanic. The firm might have also been tendered to construct Olympic and the Britannic simultaneously. Titanic might have been expected to have brought comfort and unprecedented size into the then vacuum. Her design might have been owed mostly to the late Thomas Andrews, may his soul rest in peace. The Belfast-sited company might have actualized the delivery of Titanic, on early April 1912, ready for first sea trial, after 3 years of intense construction. Later she might have been declared seaworthy, after probably passing all the tests. She might have had a total capacity, while fully loaded, of more than 53 kilotons. Her length might have been approximately 270 meters while her breadth almost 29 meters, extreme points. She might have indeed been a gorgeous giant then. Titanic might have been not only a beauty and special but also a sea safety guarantee to many. She might have been attributed, with 4 elevators, 20 lifeboats, renowned captain, the late Smith Edward, may his soul rest in peace, complex inner decorations, a swimming pool, ample inner spaces, entertainment lounges, massive personnel, best meal service, first to third class chambers, with fair variations in comfort, courteous crew, presumed 16 watertight compartments, as a backup against a compromised hull, just to mention a few. She might have taken off on the 10th of April, 1912, from Southampton, UK, heading to New York City, USA. This might have been her first transatlantic passengers trip. On board were various respectable personalities together with many other passengers. She might have narrowly escaped a collision with the New York, while leaving her first port, probably first bad omen and first mistake. She might have gone ahead to dock at Cherbourg, France, though with some hitches due to the small harbour for her to dock, probably second bad omen, then finally at Cobb Island before daring the massive Atlantic, for New York. The ratio on board might have been 13 to 9, passengers to crew respectively, summing up to 2,205 individuals. Pets might have never been factored in the tally. Her bridge might have received numerous iceberg warnings during their trip but maintained their speed, probably second mistake. The two radio operators, the late Phillips and the late Harold, may their soul rest in peace, might have been mandated to relay all radio messages to the bridge. On the evening of the ill-fated day, the 14th of April, 1912, she might have arrived at the iceberg black spot. Her captain might have opted to deviate to the south, maintaining the 22 knots speed, probably third mistake. Mesebaum might have warned the two operators of Icefield at about 10 o'clock in the evening. The two might have failed to relay the message to their bridge, probably fourth mistake. At about 11 o'clock, Californian might have communicated to have been surrounded by ice, hence stopped. Phillips might have scolded the Californian for interruption, probably fifth mistake. Those assigned at the crow's nest also might have failed to detect those icebergs, lacking binoculars, probably sixth mistake. During that night the ocean too might have been too calm to indicate danger, probably third bad omen and seventh mistake. At about 11:39 o'clock, 750 kilometers from Newfoundland, she spotted an iceberg. The late First Officer Murdoch William might have steered the celebrated and glorified Royal Mail ship, Titanic, to the left and reversed the engines. Some might have preferred the RMS, Titanic, hitting the iceberg head-on, while the engine reversed, to stop or luckily break her way through. Titanic might have begun to turn, but too close to avert a collision. Her starboard side might have been tattered along the iceberg. This might have been probably the eighth and the most grievous mistake and the fourth bad omen. At least 5 of her uncapped compartments toward the bow might have been ruptured. The late Thomas might have assessed the damage and sounded a red alert on the impending danger. Titanic might have been destined to sink. She might have begun sending distress signals. Carpathia, being about 107 kilometers away, immediately redirected to her rescue. Olympic might have been too far to be of any assistance. An unidentified vessel might have been seen around, presumably Californian, but Titanic might have been unable to contact her, probably fifth bad omen. Some might have suspected that Californian might have been in the vicinity at the time of tragedy but never responded to the dictates of humanity, presumably ninth mistake. She might have communicated earlier of her iceberg distress to the Titanic but scolded. The radio of Californian might have been switched off, probably out of the overreaction from the earlier mistreatment, probably 10th mistake. All her 20 lifeboats might have been launched below their recommended capacities, probably 11th mistake. Only about 705 might have been saved below the total lifeboat's capacity of 1,178. No life-saving drill might have been conducted on those on board, in preparation for any worse-seeing eventualities, probably 12th mistake. Her lifeboats might have had a total capacity of only 1,178 below the 2,205 recommended capacity, probably 13th mistake. Her bow might have sunk further, raising her stern, creating pressure at the middle section, probably fifth bad omen. She might have finally sealed her fate, at about 2:18 o'clock the next morning, when she might have broken into two, probably sixth bad omen. Both pieces might have dived in less than 3 minutes after their bisection. Most of those who might have tried swimming might have been frozen to death, owing to the delays by the return boat rescue trips, probably 14th mistake. Low efficiency might have been achieved in the rescue operation. Women and children might have been awarded first priority in the rescue. About 1,500 might have drowned or frozen. 700 members of the crew might have died. 536 third-class passengers might have died. 264 second and first class might have perished. Carpathia might have arrived too late to save the dead, at about 3:30 o'clock. Above all, she might have picked all the 705 rescued and ferried them to New York City, arriving on the 18th of April, 1912. Californian might have also arrived at about 9 o'clock, just about when Carpathia might have been finalizing her pick. Captain Henry Arthur of Carpathia might have been celebrated as the overall hero. The front wreck might have been discovered in 1985, followed by other discoveries and investigations, 4,000 meters deep, 24 kilometers from the then actual tragic scene, owing to Argo technology, thanks to the American-French exploration. Her tragedy might have inspired several movies. The 1997 Titanic and the 1958 A Night to Remember might be some of the notable ones. Public inquiries deep into the matter might have been conducted, both in the USA and UK. Reports and safety recommendations might have been tabled and implemented. All this might have been to awaken our collective efforts to make future sea travel safer. I might have opted to be less authoritative in my journalism because my sources might have been mostly from secondary data. Secondly, I believe in the rule of law, individuals to be given a chance to defend their causes, before they are judged. Thank you for studying this article on Titanic. This might be Titanic on my lens. MLA style, Titanic. Benson caricature. YouTube, Facebook, Kenya, 2022. You might be interested to study my previous articles, posted on my YouTube and Facebook accounts. 1. Neglected issues. 2. Raila Amolo Ajinga on my lens. 3. William Ruto on my lens. 4. Bill Gates. Production notes. Studio, Benz. Director, Benson Caricature, +2 54702260128. Producer, Benson Caricature. Writer, Benson Caricature. Time, 14 minutes. Cast, Janet R.D. Acknowledgements, the United Kingdom, Sister Vivian Zola, All Pacifists, Microsoft Community, Janet R.D., and our intelligentsia.